Well, hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Off-Farm Income Podcast YouTube channel. Great to have you here with us. Well, as promised, all the way back in episode 696, today I get to interview Kiley Andersen, fresh off of the FFA National Convention. She's going to be talking to us all about how working in her family's business propelled her into national proficiency nomination status, as well as winning the California State Proficiency in ag sales placement. Really interesting interview, wonderful young lady, and a very interesting business story that she wants to take over one day. I think you're really going to enjoy hearing it, and we'll start it right now. Joining me today is Kiley Andersen, and she's coming to us from Annalee High School and the Sebastopol FFA chapter in Sebastopol, California. Kiley, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
You bet. I've been looking forward to this interview. I read an article about you, and it seems like you're having some success up there at Sebastopol.
Yeah, a little bit.
Well, that's great. I'm looking forward to the conversation. And how I normally start these off is just by asking you just a few questions about you, so our audience can get to know who they're listening to. Would that be all right if we did that?
Yeah.
All right. Well, how old are you now, Kiley?
Sorry, what was that?
How old are you?
I'm 16.
All right. And what grade does that put you in this year?
A junior.
Okay. Now, when you're not at school, when you're at home, are you on a farm, are you in town, or something kind of in between?
So I'm kind of not on a farm, but I do have about 45 breeding sheep.
Okay.
And I have a pony, some chickens, and we have about 3 acres. So not super big, but it's a good-sized property, and we're not in town. We're kind of out in the country, but we're still, like 15 minutes out of town.
Okay, very good. Well, it gives you the ability to raise some livestock. I mean, 45 head of sheep or 40, that's a significant number.
Yeah, so I breed sheep and I show sheep. So.
Okay, very good. Now, how long have you been involved in the FFA?
I've been in FFA since I was a freshman, so 3 years.
Okay. And what brought you in? What made you want to be part of this organization?
I've been in 4-H my whole life, and, it's just I'm still in 4-H right now, but it's a new opportunity for me, and I like my ag teacher, and I like the kids that are in FFA, and it's just, me going into high school wouldn't be going into a regular science class. It would be going into an ag science class, so.
Gotcha. And was this just kind of something that was ingrained in your community, or was it that all of your friends, your older friends, had gone into FFA ahead of you, or how did you even find out this is something you wanted to do?
I'd say that one of my older best friends was at Annalee in the FFA program, and she had a lot of success, so I kind of just followed in her footsteps.
All right.
And that's pretty much how I started. Yeah.
And you're a junior, and you're still involved, so I'm assuming that it's turned out the way you were hoping.
Yeah, for the most part.
Okay, very good. Well, tell me about the sheep on your family's place. Is that something that your folks have always been involved in, or did you get that started?
So my mom actually lived in Half Moon Bay and when she was younger, and she showed pretty much every species you could imagine. I mean, I know she showed turkeys, anything from turkeys to cows pretty much. And so she raised and showed sheep when she was younger, and she kind of, brought that to Sebastopol. And when she met my dad, I think they got out of the sheep for a little bit, but then when they had me, they started a small flock. And then ever since then, I've been involved, and it's kind of been, my flock, and I've grown it a lot. And yeah, so that's how we've done that. Very cool.
You bring up Half Moon Bay. You're bringing up some memories for me, Kiley. I grew up in the San Joaquin Valley, so just east of that area. And I actually was a police officer down there for a little while, and I actually had the opportunity to go and apply for a job as a police officer in Half Moon Bay, and I didn't do it. And it is such a beautiful area. And it's only, 25 or 30 miles south of San Francisco, but it really gets into some ag country as you go down Highway 1.
Yeah, it is.
Well, I just didn't do it. I never did it, and I kind of regret it. It would have been really fascinating to live over there and to work there in such a beautiful area right on the Pacific Ocean.
Yeah, so my grandma and my uncle still live there, and that's my favorite. If I I don't really have much time to go on vacation, but when I say I go on vacation, it's going there for 3 days, and I love it. Just the town, the whole scenery, everything out there.
Yeah, it's a beautiful drive if you go down Highway 1 from Half Moon Bay all the way to Santa Cruz, but you go through some really beautiful farms on that drive, and they're right there on the ocean.
Yeah, definitely.
Really? Well, that's awesome. Well, Kiley, I would love to acknowledge your FFA advisor, the person that's helped you along the way, and would you mind doing that for me really quick?
Miss Nicholson is my ag teacher.
All right. So Heidi Mickelson is your ag teacher. Thank you so much for acknowledging her and just mentioning her here on the show.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay. Well, Kiley, I am going to do just a quick shout out to one of my sponsors, everybody. That is Powder River Livestock Handling Equipment. As you know, they've been a great sponsor on this show for quite some time, and they continue to do so, supporting this show, supporting agriculture, and making absolutely fantastic livestock handling equipment for your large livestock, whether it's calf tables, squeeze chutes, sweep tubs, runways, panels, whatever it may be. If you've got cattle, they have got equipment that's going to minimize stress, minimize the potential for injury to those livestock and to the handlers. Check them out at powderriver.com, everybody, and let your local farm and ranch retailer know that you want to buy Powder River. You want to buy the best. All right, Kiley, thanks for letting me get away with that.
Yeah, no problem.
All right. Well, I am eager to talk about your supervised agricultural experience. That's really what drew, that's how I found you through that article and what I really want to know about. So tell us what you've been doing for your SAE.
So my SAE has been working for my family's business, Leading Edge Supplements and Supplies. We're a business that sells pretty much anything you could imagine from breeding and showing livestock, all species. We carry anything from, soaps and paint cans to feed, anything like that. So I've been working there since we opened for about 3 years now.
Mm-hmm.
And in the beginning, it was just a little bit of me helping out, and doing some inventory and unloading packages and shipments. And now it's more, I unload the big grain deliveries and I talk to customers and I sell products and I am just starting to learn with the taxes and all, things like that.
So your responsibility has obviously grown over time as your experience has grown with it.
Yeah, a lot.
Very good. And so you're learning about taxes and things like that. So now it sounds like as your responsibility has grown, you're getting more and more information about kind of the inner workings of business and how to run a business.
Yeah, definitely. And, my goal is to take over Leading Edge. So this is definitely a big stepping stone for me, learning it this early.
Very
so I
cool.
can, do it my best. Yeah.
Now, I had read in the article that I read about you, I read that the business started in your family's garage. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
All right. Now, was that just 3 years ago then?
Yeah, about 3 years ago.
Wow, very cool. So you've been there and you've been able to kind of see the beginning and how it's developed from the moment that your parents decided to start it.
Yeah, and it's actually kind of incredible because actually there's a garage, there's a laundry room. So just, seeing my laundry room become this, and now we have a trailer that we travel with to shows, and
mm-hmm.
we, are building a warehouse right now. Things like that is, to me, it's just incredible that it doesn't even seem like we just started out of garage. It seems like it's been forever since we've been doing this.
Very cool. What was it like to be a 12 or a 13-year-old kid and hear your parents talking about starting this business and coming up with the idea and kind of witnessing the evolution of it?
So, they started it because it was getting really expensive for me showing competitive sheep,
mm-hmm.
getting expensive, ordering all the products. So that's kind of how it started. And it was amazing. Like one day we were ordering products, through big companies. And the next day we were getting shipments of like tons of products wholesale that we were, buying. And then when we started selling them, it was like, oh, we're actually like selling things right now. Like, didn't know we could actually do that. So.
Yeah, very cool. Now, when you're talking about pulling the trailer to different shows, because you're obviously selling products at those shows, are you still able to go and show sheep at those shows as well, or are you too busy working?
Yeah, so the jackpot shows that I show my sheep at, it's been kind of difficult. We don't bring the trailer to every shows, but we do bring it to a big majority, and it's been, hard for me when I'm in the ring. Obviously, I can't be there talking to customers, but every time I have all my downtime, I go straight to the trailer and help my mom out or help whoever is helping us out at the trailer. Sometimes it's my little brother sitting there while my mom is helping get sheep ready, and I go and help my little brother. So it's been difficult, but we've made it work.
Very cool. Now, everybody's got kind of a different part of business that they like, and there's other things that are more challenging to them. For you, what's the most difficult part of working in the business?
I'd say just, that's a good question.
Well, thanks.
I'd have to say it's just the managing the time, me going to school and having all my sheep and doing all that while my mom has a full-time job and my dad has a full-time job. It's kind of hard, managing the business with all of our other life going on. So just, I guess managing the time and even the money, it's a big part. When we started it, we spent a lot of money on my sheep. And then when they're spending it on ordering products, it was just, I guess that was probably the hardest part.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I know that this has led you to some awards, and you've been recognized in a few different ways. What have those been?
My first one was when I turned in my proficiency for regionals. I was regional finalist, and then I won at regions, and then I was selected as a state finalist. And then the biggest, well, not the biggest for me was the national finalist, but state, I thought I was walking up on stage to go and walk right off, and then when I won, I was like, wow, what, did that just happen? So that was really big. But then, at my county fair, I was coming down from my trailer to go take care of my sheep, and Nicholson caught me there and was like, hi, so you're a national finalist. And I didn't really know what to say. I thought she was kidding. I mean, not really, but it was a big surprise. So.
That is awesome. Very cool. So just to make sure I've got it all right, so you were a California State Proficiency winner, is that correct?
Yes, California.
Awesome. What an accomplishment. And that made you eligible to compete this year at the National FFA Convention for your proficiency?
Yes.
Awesome. That is great. Congratulations. What category of proficiency is it you're competing under?
Ag sales placement.
Awesome. That is wonderful. So ag sales placement, and so I've got to ask you, what is it about your application, your records, or what you've done that made you stand out? What do you think it is?
I'd say just the realness of it. I couldn't really make any of it up, because me making it up wouldn't make sense to me, and I have so much to put in there. It's just all real, and it's all, my growth is huge. Like I said, when I started, I was just doing inventory and packaging packages and unpacking them. Now I'm learning all the products and talking to customers about why one product is better than another product.
Sure.
And why we carry these certain products. And now, like I said, the taxes and everything like that. So I just, feel like my growth is huge, and the realness, and I'd say that's what makes me stand out.
Very cool. Now, here you are. You're in your junior year. Have you been to a national convention before?
No, I haven't. I've actually only been to state conference once.
Wow. So and I don't want to freak you out, but your first national convention, your first experience at the national convention is going to involve you being on the stage as a national proficiency finalist.
Yeah, I'm a little nervous. Can't lie about that.
That is really cool. What a first experience. Well, it is high energy.
Yeah, definitely.
High energy and a lot of fun. You've probably watched some YouTube videos of it, I bet. But
no, I haven't, but I probably should.
Well, that's totally up to you, but you are going to have a blast. But to get up there on that stage in front of, I don't know, in that arena there, I think they seat 15 to 20,000 people, something like that. That is a lot of cheering FFA students you're going to be in front of.
Well,
sorry about that.
Just a couple people.
That is going to be very, very cool. Good for you. I am excited for you, Kiley. That is wonderful.
Thank you. I'm really excited too.
Well, you know what's interesting is that your parents' business, it sounds like it took off really fast, but I mean, it's totally correlated with your time in the FFA, and you've kind of taken off like a rocket ship with this as well. With being a national proficiency finalist, how are you going to top it? You still have a senior year of high school to go before you're done with high school.
I honestly don't know how I'm going to top it. I haven't really thought about that yet. I'm just pretty happy with where it is now, and I haven't really thought about what's next for FFA at least. But definitely for my future, definitely taking over Leading Edge, and this has helped a lot, me having to learn all the different parts about the business and things like that.
That is great.
Like I said, the taxes and all the
That is wonderful. Good for you. Well, I want to ask your advice before we wrap it up for other FFA students out there listening, maybe students who are just getting started. I mean, the sky is kind of the limit. What advice would you have for them in terms of taking advantage of all the opportunities that are afforded to them by being in the FFA?
I guess I'd say just find something you love and find something you think you can stick with or that you want to stick with for at least, for a while, even not just through high school, but something for your whole life. This is hopefully my whole life, and I plan on continuing this, and I love it. So I wouldn't change anything else about it. And that's just what I would tell other kids is if you're getting started, don't pick just, going and watering your parents' garden unless you love gardening and want to be a professional gardener.
Yeah.
But, just find something you really love and, something you're going to stick with.
That is awesome. Well, Kiley, thank you so much for today, and best of luck to you up on that stage at the National Convention. I can't wait to see how it goes.
Thank you so much.
Well, thank you for joining us here again today, everybody, on the Off Farm Incomes YouTube channel. We really appreciate you being here. Love doing this, and we certainly could not be doing it without you. And as always, enjoy your journey to the ultimate lifestyle business, agriculture.